presentation. And after that, is it okay if I give you guys a little bit of a gift? Made my first 10 sales on Monetize. That makes me very happy to hear. Congratulations. Yeah, guys, let me know if it's okay if I give you a little bit of an extra gift today. Let me know if that's okay with you guys. Yep. Wayne says, yep. Amazing, amazing. Yes, hell yes. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, why not? All right, well, today we are going to give you a whole extra hour of training. So congratulations, because we have no main session today, we decided to make the main session actually a 2-hour VIP. So I'm going to get into this. We have about a 30-minute, 25-minute presentation on Canva. Then I'm going to call the giveaway winners. So the FaceTime and the MacBook giveaway winner. Then Jason and I are going to do a little bit of a open Q&A for about 15, 20 minutes. And then after that, Jason is actually going to take the floor. And you guys are going to have a full 1 hour with Jason where he's going to answer a bunch of questions. And, it's just, obviously sometimes we love to like see each question and go over each question one by one. It's just the main chat, like things are going so quickly. So today, we thought we would do an extra 1 hour with Jason. All right. Cool. Perfect. Well, I'm glad you guys are happy to hear that. And also just a heads up, tomorrow we have one bonus main session, one final main session. I don't know if you guys saw that announced. Just to give you guys a bit of context as to what we are doing tomorrow. Tomorrow is, we've been getting a lot of questions. People want to make a lot of money with digital products, and we have some very in detail training today about digital products specifically, but we're getting a lot of people who are like, hey, I want to make money with digital products, but I actually don't even want to create a digital product myself. And there is a specific way where you can basically get one yes, and that one yes can pretty much fund your entire lifestyle. So trust me, you will want to watch tomorrow's session. Obviously, everything we've applied thus far, it's not a different model. It's just a slightly different way in order to execute everything we're teaching here. So what we're teaching tomorrow isn't something different. It's just a slight tweak. It's like a slight variation. And as I said, it's a slightly different way that you could approach it if it better suits your style, if it better suits your strengths and capabilities. So yeah, with that, let's get into it. So welcome to VIP session 6. This is the penultimate session of the MMOC 2.0 VIP sessions. And I just want to start by thanking every single one of you. The fact that we are 5 sessions in, this being our 6th session, and you are still here, still committed, that says a lot about who you are and the potential you have to succeed. Commitment is something that cannot be taught. So in today's session, is one that I've been looking forward to all week. The reason why today's session stands out to me personally is because it's a part of digital products that I love talking about the most, and that is strategy. No BS, no fluff, just anticipating problems that are likely to arise. If they don't arise, that's great as well, but still, it's nice to anticipate them, and it's nice to be prepared for them regardless, all right? In the process of selling a digital product and solving them before they even occur. So before we get into that, I have a big announcement to make during tomorrow's VIP session. I'll be sending you one final challenge, and the prize is a big one. One lucky winner will receive an all expenses paid trip to Dubai for an exclusive private dinner with me in person. Obviously, we've given away 5 FaceTime calls already. We've given away 5 MacBooks already. Giving away the 6th one of both of those today. You guys got Alchemy of Self. Obviously, you got 5 bonus sessions thus far, and 6th one today, 7th one tomorrow. So the only other thing for us to do is, this one winner who will receive an all expenses paid trip to Dubai for an exclusive dinner with me in person. So after the live session, we will be hosting a final main session live on YouTube. To be eligible to win the final challenge, you must attend the VIP session and the main session tomorrow. Today, as always, I'll be calling the winner of today's VIP challenge and announcing the final challenge towards the end of the session. But for now, I just want to get straight into some of the strategies to help you sell as many digital products as possible. In today's session, I'm going to be breaking down the 3 biggest barriers that will stand in the way of you making sales with your first digital product. But I'm not just going to talk about what these barriers are. I'm also going to show you how to actually overcome them, so that way you can maximize your chances of success in this industry. These barriers are universal, okay? They impact beginners, my 7-figure clients inside of my advisory business Quantum, and to this day, some of these things even impact me, okay? The reason why I've had so much success in this industry is because I was able to recognize these barriers and strategically overcome them. That is how I became ungovernable. That is what today's session is all about. I'm gonna show you the strategies that I still use to this day to stay on top in this industry. Now, before we can even think about overcoming these barriers, you need to know what they actually are. At their core, they're really just mental blockers that your future buyers will have before they buy your digital product. All of us have experienced these, okay? You know that feeling when you really want to buy something, but just before you're about to pay, you start looking for reasons why you shouldn't buy, all right? We all have this. Well, people who buy digital products, they go through the exact same thing. It's usually one of these or a combination of these three different mental blockers: money, time, or not for me. You see, these three mental blockers, these are the three barriers that stand between you making thousands, even tens of thousands selling digital products, or never even making a single sale. When it comes to money, okay, the money barrier is the most common one that you're going to face. The fear of investing in something and not getting the desired result or any at all. Time, okay, the second barrier is time. Another barrier that always arises, this is the belief that there isn't enough time to get the maximum value from the product, or not for me. The third and final one is the not for me justification. The belief that those who succeed have a competitive advantage that they don't have. Let's be honest, these are pretty acceptable concerns to have, okay? Your future customers don't want to invest their hard-earned money into something that they don't believe will get them the result that they desire. When it comes to time, everyone has the belief that life will slow down and they will have a time at a later stage, which obviously never actually happens. Potential customers will always use time as a cop-out, and you can't control that, but you can control the way you position your products. So that way potential buyers feel secure that they will be able to reap the benefits of your digital product. More about that in just a second. And lastly, if a potential buyer believes that the product is made for someone who has advantages that they don't, they will naturally rethink the purchase. It doesn't matter who you are. If you get into the world of digital products, you will be faced with these barriers. I wish I could sit here and tell you that it's smooth sailing and everyone is going to buy your digital product without a second thought. But unfortunately, that's not how things work, okay? Some of you guys might hear that and start to feel a bit stressed, but you should feel the exact opposite, okay? Common problems are great problems. Here's why. There are two types of business problems that you can face. There's unexpected problems, okay? Problems that suddenly come up without warning and without expectation. And then there's predicted problems. These are inevitable problems that you're already aware of, okay? So what you're aware of, what you anticipate, it can't hurt you because you can prepare for it. That's the beauty of this, okay? And I think one of the reasons I've actually been, moderately successful in life, one of my biggest strengths, I would say, is actually my ability to think worst case scenario, but without stressing myself out. What I mean by that is I just spend a lot of time just mentally preparing for the worst case, or what if things don't work out, or what if this thing breaks, or the thing I do as well a lot of time with myself is I always play devil's advocate. I'm like, okay, I'm making this offer, I'm presenting this thing, I'm making this argument, I'm making this presentation, and I just imagine myself, like I play devil's advocate with myself, and I imagine myself in the position of a buyer, okay, or a client, and just poking holes in my argument. And when you do this, it's almost like your arena to practice. Your mind is almost an arena to practice, but it's this very fine line, because if you always think about the worst case scenario, sometimes you need to know what kind of person you are. Sometimes that can actually stress you out. So I'm one of those people that can predict problems. I know problems are about to rise, and I actually think everyone has a different philosophy on things. My personal philosophy is you attract what you're afraid of. Some people think that you attract what you think of. I personally don't believe that. When it comes to law of attraction and manifestation and whatnot, I actually believe that you attract what you're afraid of. So when you no longer fear something, it actually, when you no longer fear something, it can't hurt you. And I find that the people that are most afraid of this thing happening or that thing happening or that thing happening, when they have that emotional attachment to it and that emotional frequency, they actually end up attracting the thing that they're most afraid of, the thing that they try to think of the least. So that's just my personal opinion. Obviously, everyone has their own viewpoint. But I guess the point here is that unexpected problems are a nightmare because they require immediate action without having a set strategy in place. Predicted problems are problems are bound to come up. Okay, this is exactly what you want because it gives you the opportunity to implement a proactive strategy that will often lead to these problems having no impact on you at all. In fact, by proactively solving these problems, it can become a competitive advantage. I think you guys have a good understanding of the three barriers at this point. Money, okay, potential buyers have the fear that they will invest but fail to get the desired result from the digital product. Time, potential buyers don't believe that they have sufficient time to get the desired result from the digital product. Or, not for me. Potential buyers believe they lack a certain trait or competitive advantage. They need to get the desired result from the digital product. Now it is time to start putting a strategy in place to overcome these. And I think it is best to start with the most common one of the three, which is money. Okay. In order to overcome this barrier, you need to reframe the way you actually look at the problem. If I asked a group of beginners, everyone thinks my digital product is too expensive. What do you think I should do? Okay. Most would just say, oh, drop the price. Okay. That's the initial reflex. That's the initial first thought. It's interesting. I have actually seen this have the opposite effect. You know, when you're shopping online and you come across two similar products, but there's a substantial price difference between them. You know, when you start doubting the quality of the cheaper one because it's too cheap, okay? Sometimes when something's cheaper, it actually puts you off buying it even more, okay? Same thing happens with digital products. If you drop the price too low, your potential buyers start doubting the quality. What if I told you the money barrier has nothing to do with the amount you charge at all? What if I told you that one of your close friends or family was wrongly convicted and was about to be sentenced to 20 years in jail? You consult the best attorney in the country and he says he could get your loved one out with ease, but this attorney's rate is $10,000 for a day in court. Would you say, no, that's too expensive? You would do anything you could to get the $10,000 you needed because the value of the problem being solved is worth it to you, okay? Money is obsolete in that case, okay? Money in that case is no longer an objection because the value of the problem being solved is worth it for you. That right there is the key to overcoming this barrier. It has nothing to do with the price itself, but it has everything to do with the perceived value of the product and the problem it solves. So, how do you create a digital product with a high enough perceived value so that the money barrier does not impact your sales? Well, you overcome this obstacle at the very start, even before you build the product itself. It is about solving the right problem for the right audience. Remember the example I used earlier? The bigger the problem, the more valuable the solution. You need to build a digital product that solves the biggest problem you possibly can for a very specific audience. When I say big problem, what does that actually mean? How do we actually measure this? Well, it's simple. It's just a problem that cannot be ignored. A problem that impacts someone every single day and starts to get worse as time passes. And this is why products linked to any form of making money, you know, as in improving your financial capabilities, improving health, improving relationships, perform so well. Just so you guys understand, there's we call them soft offers and hard offers in marketing. Like a soft outcome, you guys, I feel like you understand what I mean when I say a soft outcome. It's up in the air, okay? It's intangible. It's like a nice to have. Like, you know, it's the same thing when you're setting goals and you're setting a goal and you're like, I would like to be better at speaking, okay? Whereas, oh, I want to get better at public speaking compared to how to be presentation ready so that way you speak like XYZ person within 42 days or less. Like that's hey, I'm going to achieve this accomplishment, which is being able to speak as if you are a, you know, world renowned orator in X time frame. Like that's a very specific thing. Okay. That's a hard offer. That's a hard as in that's a tangible outcome in a tangible time frame compared to a soft offer, which is it's a nice to have. You're just going to be a better speaker. Okay. There's no clear cut result there. Okay. Now, if you're broke and you can't pay the bills, you can't ignore that. If you're suffering from chronic back pain and it's impacting your ability to perform everyday tasks, it can't be ignored. If you're struggling to communicate with your partner, leading to constant disagreements and fighting, once again, this can't be ignored. The more frequently the problem's impact is felt, the more desperate people become to solve them, and therefore the more valuable the solution becomes. The problem you choose to solve is very important, but only the one side of the equation. The other side is who are you going to solve this problem for? This is equally important when it comes to perceived value. Let me explain what I mean. Let's imagine you decide to create a digital product that helps individuals improve their time management skills. Who would view their poor time management skills as a bigger day-to-day problem? A retiree working on a few DIY projects at home, or a small business owner responsible for a variety of tasks in their business? It's obvious, right? Okay. The result of poor time management for the retiree is that a few of his DIY projects will take a little bit longer than expected. The result of poor time management for a small business owner is exponentially more severe. Your digital product will make a lot more sales if it focused on helping small business owners instead of DIY retirees, because despite solving the same problem, the solution is more valuable to a particular segment of the market. Now, I know many of you guys are watching this right now and your minds are racing, thinking of big problems to solve and who would be the best audience to solve them for. I get it. It can be a tricky process to figure this out all out on your own. And that is the whole reason why we build Synthesize AI. Synthesize AI has the ability to identify big problems and connect them to segments of the market where the perceived value of the solution is at its highest. It takes a variety of things into account: the frequency of the problem, the number of people who experience this problem, and how quickly this problem can be solved. It then dives into different market segments, measuring a variety of metrics. Measuring the consequences of the problem not being solved, the willingness of each market segment to pay for a solution, and even the buying power across market segments. Now, once Synthesize has investigated thoroughly, it actually provides you with 20 options of digital products that solve specific problems for specific segments of the market. This eliminates all the guesswork on your part and ensures that your product will have a high perceived value. This strategically eliminates the money barrier before you even launch. Of course, you will need to make sure that your marketing is good, but it is so much easier to create quality marketing assets when your product has a high perceived value. For our monetized users, this is the simplest part. All you need to do is basically just take the information from Synthesize, plug into Ghostwriter, and you have all the marketing assets you need to make sales. Copy for your landing page, your conversion script, your offer, all done for you. Increase the perceived value of your digital product by creating a solution for the right problem for the segment of the market that needs it the most. Then you increase the desire for your product with high quality marketing assets. The money barrier will never be a problem again. That being said, it doesn't have that much of an impact on the time barrier. Okay. In most cases, potential buyers who are experiencing time as their mental block already believe in the value that the digital product can provide, right? They believe that the value is there, but that they don't have the time to extract that value. So how do you overcome this barrier? Unfortunately, you can't make someone's life less busy, but you can optimize your digital product for fast consumption and easy implementation. And this is where the product format comes into play. Imagine you were desperate to learn how to code, but you happen to be in one of the busiest periods of your life. Maybe your job is taking up a lot of your time. Maybe there have been significant changes in your personal life. The point is, you lack time. If you were presented with an opportunity to learn how to code, but you had to attend daily lectures, you had long form projects to complete, and you needed to read through a 500-page textbook, you would probably pass on that opportunity on the basis that you don't have the time. But if that opportunity was presented in a way where you would receive a concise 30-page booklet with all the key information you needed to learn the basics of coding, you would jump at the opportunity because you would be able to get the results you want in a fraction of the time. You need to focus on creating a product that yields results in days and not months. By creating digital products in a quick win format decreases the time barrier, okay? It feels less of a long-term commitment, and not having the time never feels like a valid excuse in that scenario. There are so many examples of quick win formats for digital products, especially non-expert ones. You've got templates, you've got challenges, you've got ebooks. These are all perfect examples of quick win formats that work perfectly for audiences that are generally short of time. If your product helps new parents, single moms, busy professionals, anyone who is known for lacking time, you need to make sure that your digital product serves their needs. And one of those needs is the time in order to consume it. I already knew this barrier existed, so the team and I actually built these different formats inside of Synthesize, eliminating this barrier for all of our users from the start. So when our users build their products in a quick win format, the time barrier should never be a problem. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but even Monetize itself is built in a quick win format. If you look at Monetize on a larger scale, we eliminate the time barrier in a very similar way, okay? We could just teach you guys how to build a digital product from scratch, teach you all the fundamentals of writing marketing copy, and then package that into a 50-hour course and give it to our users. And we could say, hey, this is $1,995, and there you go. Here's all the information, okay? But we know that people are busy and don't have all day to build products from scratch. So that is why we built the software and the tools and licensed as well the software and the tools that turned Monetize into a quick win digital product. So we actually follow these same principles ourselves. Tools that allow you to make as many products as you want in a fraction of the time. All the marketing is done for you. No need to spend months learning the skills and writing hours of content. These tools eliminate the time barrier. I don't think, okay, that there are many of you guys sitting here who have 3 to 6 months free to build a digital product with resources and all the marketing materials from scratch and do it yourself, okay? All of you, though, have 45 minutes to create a digital product with our software and our tools. But the product itself isn't the only way to overcome the time barrier. The way you position it from a marketing standpoint also plays a very pivotal role. Okay, you do this by combining lifetime access and urgency. By marketing the product at a reduced price for a limited amount of time or members, while making clear that buyers get lifetime access, you also eliminate the time barrier. Potential buyers who are busy at that time will invest with the intentions of using the product at a later stage just to avoid paying more in future. Now, our monetized users make a use of this strategy frequently because a ghostwriter creates the content to drive urgency, and WAP also allows you to create lifetime products as well as change the price whenever you like. Now, at this point, you have a clear strategy to overcome the money and time barriers. With the right product and marketing, these barriers shouldn't be a problem. But what about your future buyers who believe they don't have the unique edge that others have in order to get the outcome they desire? I'll be honest, this is the one that I've struggled with the most, the not for me justification, because I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. Just because I struggle with this one the most doesn't mean you have to. In fact, this is actually your competitive edge over me. You guys really need to understand this. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, claiming that I don't have certain competitive advantages that many of you guys don't have yet, okay? It's true. I do have a big audience, and of course, there's an advantage, but everything has its pros and cons. My audience is made up of people from all walks of life, different genders, different age profiles, different countries, different stages of their lives, of their careers. This means that I need to create a digital product that caters to the needs of so many different people to overcome this barrier, okay? I think my team and I have managed to achieve it, but it really wasn't easy to get to this point. But despite what I think, there will always be people in my audience to look at the people getting life-changing results from my products and say things like, yeah, but they're young and tech savvy, or but they live in the United States, or but they probably got lucky. The truth is, because I have such a diverse range of people buying and succeeding with my products, it's easier for potential buyers to find an excuse of why it won't work for them. It is impossible for me to market and cater to one exact buyer profile. And that's the most powerful. And that is, you guys will actually have much better conversion sales. Like, your digital product will actually sell better than mine, because mine has to appeal to a wider market, whereas you can just be so specific and hone in on people that